I would like to call upon Chulalongkorn University, Thailand to do your presentation.
Yes, that's gonna be me. Let me try to share my screen first. Because I am only one alone from Thailand, I will represent it solo. So, okay, so how long do I have? 10 minutes, right? Okay, I will just go. So good afternoon, everyone. So today I'm from Thailand, Chulalongkorn University, Bandukawi Parakawong Naitaya. Today I would like proudly to present about Thai cultures, but in the another perspective, we try to look Thai cultures as something as a decorative subject. You guys may seem to be noticed about these photo. You guys may familiar. This one is a very Thai famous dish. This one is a Thai show, and this one is like a Thai temple. But what I would like you guys to, I would like to present to you guys today. I want you guys to make more hungry because today I will present about our cultures, which is so rich and so diverse. Do you think Thailand is a rich culture country? I mean, we have a lot of architectures, we have a lot of buildings, temples, and also foods. So I think that Thai cultures can be considered one of the most richest countries in terms of cultures. So let's make a guess. If you think about Thailand, what comes up into your mind, your first thoughts? Anybody have any ideas? Like when you think of the Thailand, what is your first thoughts about Thailand? You can type it into the chat if you want. Golden Temple, yes, that's also one of our significant Thai culture. We call it Wat Phra Kaew, or it's a part of the Grand Palace in Thailand. But today I will not present about the architecture. But in fact, just like I spoiled to you earlier, I would like you guys to make you hungry. So let's guess what I am going to present about. So we have rice and we do something with the rice. Can you guys guess what is this? I think you guys have this one also in your home country. Trust me. Yeah, I think someone got it right. It's a fried rice. Yeah. And you guys might wonder why Thai fried rice is considered as a Thai culture. Because in the earlier slide, I said that Thai culture is more like a decorative subject. So how we decorate our cultures. So we borrow some of the cultures from Southeast Asian countries to be adapted into more Thai identities. So in Thai, we call fried rice as a khao pat. Khao is mean rice and pat is mean stir or fry. So literally, it just means stir fried rice. It contains of garlic eggs with soy sauce, and you can add more ingredients into it, which makes the uh, Thai dish very flexible. You can have soy sauce, you can add more shrimps. If you change name just a little bit, like we have khao pat, if we add the word tale is means seas or seafood, you can add more like shrimp, crab, and also like a jellyfish into it, and also some like squid into the rice. Or if you have ever heard about the tom yum, Tom yum is means spices. So you can turn your khao pat or your fried rice into a more spicier versions, which is very diverse and very flexible in terms of ingredients. You can make almost of everything in terms of doing one dish. And fun fact about our Thai culture is khao pat or pad Thai or anything about related to pad or stir. It came around the 20th centuries where Thai have a cultural reformation, kind of like Siamese revolutions. We at that time we try to establish what is Thai. So our our general Pahun, he's a soldier and the leader of the revolution at that time. He tried to establish the identity of Thailand by using all of the ingredients inside your refrigerators, which result in some randomness. a typical food that we call nowadays fried rice, because you can imagine that we get your shrimp from your fish, we get your rice from your fish, we get lemon, we get vegetable, and we mix it up together. So maybe it's time to rethink that Thai culture is not that the rich culture, not that high cultures, but in fact, Thai culture is a more simplistic way to perceive and to understand, right? So why? Why khao pad or why Thai fried rice is a good representation of Thai cultures? Like I said, it's very flexible, and secondly, it's simple in terms of to do. So to define cultures, I would like you guys to think what actually is a cultures. There are lots of attempts to define the cultures, like this one from Matthew Annals from the School of Cultural Studies. He tried to define the culture as some kind of perfections, like an architecture, beautiful architecture, like a beautiful golden temple. But there are also contested definition that people try to define. Culture is actually mean every human behavior. And also this guy, E.B. Taylor, he also tried to define that culture is actually a knowledge or beliefs of a certain people. So what actually is Thai cultures? Is it related to ethnicities? Is it related to the geography? Is it related to the language? Maybe they are right. Maybe it's related to those identity, but those identity, I would like to remind you that Thai culture is not that absolute Thai. I mean, we cannot proudly say that, oh, this one is belong to Thai 100%. We cannot say that, oh, this one is absolutely Thai, like golden temples. As you see, golden temples or grand palace is very similar to the Myanmar one, and also very similar to the Cambodian one as well. So we cannot claim that this is actually a Thai cultures. But in fact, Thai cultures is a mix of variety of culture. Like this one is my university auditorium. The architecture seems to be Thai, but actually it's mixed with the Europe and also the Cambodian one. And also this one I heard from the earlier presentation from Myanmar. We also have that, like the water festival, play with waters. We call it Songkran or Happy Thai New Year. And also language and also monarch. Yeah, so what makes Thai cultures uh, is about everything. So that's another side of Thai cultures. So do you consider this as a Thai culture as well? I mean, we have a low cultures, we have a hazing culture, we using the violence, we also having a rap music, we also having a protest. So my statement here is that these are also Thai cultures. These are also a part of Thai identity. So in conclusion, Thai cultures or things that we try to define as a culture, it seems to be like more into the decorative subjects. We decorate everything. We try to put this red color, yellow color, green one, and we decorate and make that into the one new, brand new furnitures. So the key lesson here is about, I don't want you guys to think that Thai culture is so authentic. Thai culture is not that high, but in fact, Thai culture is about shared meaning, open-mindedness, diversity, pluralism, and creatives. And actually, Thai culture is ongoing. We are developing our own cultures, and I think every country does. So that's why we have in Thai culture, we are very creative in terms of foods. We also have American fried rice. Although in American, you don't have that. We also have like Tokyo sweet. It's like Tokyo pancake, but we don't, I think in Japan, you don't have that. You have like more like crepe and also Shendo, but I think this one you have in the Malaysia, right? So we call it Lachong Singapore, but in Singapore, they doesn't have that. They don't have that. And also we have like Chinese snack, but Chinese people just curious, oh, we don't have that. So Thai culture is about creativity that we can make things from our own refrigerator and we decorate it. So Thai culture is not just about high cultures. It's just more like into the terms like hiya is mix of everything. And that's is the Thai culture in essence. Thai culture is not just about high and unique culture. Thai culture is about multiculturalism, inclusive and creative. So I think I run out of time, and This one I will. I'm not sure I have time left. How many time do I have left? Committee. I think I still have time left. So this guy is a foreigner from the American. He visit Thai for the first time, and he just get culturally shocked by Thai culture because is what does he expect? He expect Thai people to be polite. He expect Thai people to be unique, smile all the time. But in fact, Thai people are very rude. In case I can, I have 2 minutes, so maybe I can open this for you.
Professor of Philosophy, New York. I lived in Bangkok for 3 years. This is the story of my first time in Bangkok. Bangkok, first time. I lived in Bangkok for 3 years. The first 2 years, I was never cursed at. As you know, the Thai people are very nice, very friendly. However, I got cursed the first time in the 3rd year. I was going to meet a friend at the mall Bang Cab. I was running very late. And the bus just didn't stop at the bus stop. It just kept running in the right lane. So I had to catch a taxi.
Yeah.
There were very few available. Also, there was a man standing there ahead of me. I was running very late. I couldn't wait. So, I walked out ahead of him. I tried to be a bit further ahead of him because, be a little less awkward. Anyway, this guy knew what I was doing, and he was very pissed. I guess he also was in a hurry. So this guy came up to me, and he says in English, "Your father died." And I was stunned. And I asked him, "How did you know?" I didn't know that other Thai people curse each other.
Yeah,
we
so
don't have that in America.
When you think about Thai, don't think about temple, don't think about everything. You just think about the creativity that we have. So in the end of our presentation, the lesson that I want you guys to think about Thai culture is about khao pad or fried rice. We mix everything together. We pull us off everything from our refrigerator and try to make one dish. So culture is actually a decorative subject. Our culture are not actually our own. So maybe Thai culture should be seen as something decorated up and shared with the Southeast Asian communities. So there is no absolutely Thai, but there is ongoing Thai. And being Thai is about being flexible, simple, and creative. So imagine things like khao pad or fried rice as a representative of Thailand. So I would like to end my presentation here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chulalongkorn University. You have been very, very philosophical throughout your presentation. And I think it's been very deep when you mentioned about the different food and the way of life there. And it's pretty interesting to see somebody who is so shocked. We shouldn't be, right? Because Thailand is such a paradise for holidays for people from different parts of the world. And you yourself mentioned about being multicultural. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, to go on now,